Hi guys, welcome back to Matchbox Garage, or is this ERTL Garage? I'm Rob, and today I shall be attempting to take this 57 Chevy from very shabby to shiny. This is my first non-Matchbox car, and it is one of my favourite American cars of all time. So we start by drilling down the centre of the posts, 2 on this car. Remove the flange. And of course tap those holes. And of course again, not forgetting to lubricate the end of your piece here. You do not want to snap this in the hole. And bringing back my very handy vise. So here is the car in question, and like I say, it's my first non-Matchbox car on this channel, and I've been contemplating, and people have asked me in the past, as you can see, the ERTL company from Iowa, USA, although this car's made in Hong Kong, but a 1957 Chevy. Like I say, it's one of my favourite cars, but over the last few months that I've been doing these little cars, people have said, you know, are you ever going to do a Hot Wheels or a Corgi or kind of whatever other brand? And I've always said, no, this is Matchbox Garage, and some other brands I'll do on another channel. But I've received this car in the last week, and it spoke to me. I was I think in the unboxing video a few videos ago now, people said you have to do this car, so I thought I'm going to do it today. But it needs an engine, and this Draguar is going to make way. It's going to donate its engine today for this car. Now this Draguar I've got probably 6 of, and all the others are in better condition, so I don't mind cutting this one up today for its parts. It's going to a good cause. And also, this is another van that I received recently for the wheels. It was just for the wheels, and although I think this van is beautiful, this wheel package lines up absolutely perfect. You can see the kind of gap in between the wheels there. Not only will it fit perfectly, but it'll look awesome. And as I was given this truck for the wheels, again, I didn't feel bad cutting it up today and donating part of this. So this ERTL is going to be made up of Hot Wheels and Matchbox, and of course ERTL today. So it's a nice Frankenstein of a car. But I've never taken one of these apart, so I'm kind of seeing this for the first time. And thankfully these wheels come out without any fight, and all it's going to be left for me to do is clean up that base and obviously put the other wheels in. It's got a load of dried up white sticky substance. I don't know what it is. I don't want to know what it is. Whoops. More of the dried up white material dropping out there. Just put that to one side. And it's actually covering the kind of basic or the original engine area, which does have some detail, but I think you'll, or at least I hope you'll agree, that the Matchbox engine is going to be a little bit of an improvement. And bearing in mind I don't have the bonnet for this car, or the hood, I'm not going to make one, so it's a perfect opportunity to replace and poke this engine right out. And I've got, obviously I've got, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 cars, and it was a no-brainer. As I was kind of, putting this car around, see what fit, I come across this one and I thought that'll do nicely. That post is right in the way though, so I'll have to figure out how to get around that. And of course this one appears to have been yellow originally, and then it's been rough painted white and red. But this is going to be a custom, this is going to be a hot rod custom, and this is going to be a custom that I would have as a 35-year-old man if I was a millionaire. And it's none of these colours today. Windscreen, I was a bit gutted, just noticed there was a crack there. There's nothing I can do about that other than clean it up. And actually on the finished article you can barely see it. But let's get the main casting here into some caustic soda. So I'm using my foot-long hot dog jar. Cover the casting into some boiling water. And because this is quite a large casting, and there's quite some layers of paint here, I'm going with 3 teaspoons today. And the solution there really doing its working its magic and doing what it needs to do. Already you can see quite a bit of paint floating there in the water there. Quite a lot of it has already come off. It's a bit difficult trying to show it really. Even for myself, I can't see it perfectly, but I can tell that a lot of this is coming off. But I'm going to leave this to one side and really kind of get it going, give it a good probably 10 or 15 minutes, and whilst that's doing its thing I'll concentrate on the rest of the car. And I was trying to take the wheels out of the van, but I managed to go straight through the axle, so oh well. I've got some other axles, so I'll replace those later on. And you can see I'm just trying to figure out how to put this engine in, what I need to do. But what I'm going to do now is, and because there's this plastic part, I'm going to kind of, I guess, just use my rotary tool, or Ella's tool, and give it a good old polish up with me wire brush there. And I think you'll agree, that looks pretty good. Took a little while, this one. It was in quite rough shape, but that's all it was. It was just the wire brush on my tool there. And obviously again, thanks to Ella for sending that across, because if I was just using that with my drill I would have been here all night. But popping the plastics there into some warm soapy water, and the engine piece there didn't really need cleaning, but whilst I was there that would get a fresh layer of chrome later on. And then pube, not mine. And then the remainder of this car, I need to get all this dry substance off, and then I'm gonna kind of flatten those areas down. So there's some kind of battery tray and air filter, and that'll make way, and obviously take the paint off of this window section. I tried Brush Magic, and to be fair, it took it off without an issue. But it kind of done a bit too much, really, and started to kind of melt the plastic. So I wouldn't recommend it. I rescued it, and it's probably been 10 to 15 minutes by this point, whilst doing the other bits and pieces. And I think you can see that, for the most part, all the paint's off. And with a rinse down the sink, this is what we're left with. So there is a little bit of paint kind of hanging on there, but to be honest, easily comes off for the most part. I could just use my nail, but I'm going to be using Ella's tool again, but obviously switch back out. And then you can see that I've ground this post flat. It was sticking up probably 3 or 4 mil, and yeah, put it flat. And I've also trimmed the bottom of this engine piece. And like I say, kind of flatten this down also. So once it's all together, it all basically just slots and fits in nicely. So I'll just show you. So you can see that post is now flat to the interior plastic, and then with the flat bottom end of that engine, I think you'll agree, that looks pretty special. But let's get a bit of primer on this one now. So using my Tamiya Fine Surface Primer in grey. And I'll just put on a nice healthy single layer of primer. I love this stuff, it is great stuff. Hasn't yet given me any issues after probably painting up now, I don't know, 70 to 80 cars. So it certainly gets my approval. And again, it done pretty nice on this one. So it's been 10 minutes or so drying above my radiator, and now I'm going to go with a colour. And yes, I am going with gloss black with this car. And I'm sure there are going to be some that says should have gone with white and red, or you should have gone with this colour, that colour. But like I say, as a 35-year-old man with this car, I think blacked out, or they call it murdered out, is the only way to go. This is a hot rod. Now if I was perhaps 20 years older, 30 years older, maybe I would have gone with original white and red, you know, alongside the original wheels and original motor. But yeah, this one excites me. Considering it's a non-Matchbox, this car, I'm really confused, because this car is almost, I think, my favourite car now. So this is it anyway. This is the following day, and this paint is cured smooth and shiny. It's beautiful, and you can see all the details there. But like I say, I kind of found on Google some blacked out or murdered out Chevy 57s, and that's what inspired me, so that's what I'm going with today. You can see that windscreen there looking very good. I've yet to put a bit of chrome on this engine in this picture, but I've done it afterwards. And of course just a reminder of the base there, and I've got to put the wheels on. These are the little axles that I've got spares with my other wheels, but I'm going to put all this together. I'm going to add a couple of little details, but this is just a little reminder of what she looks like, and this is the result. I've got a big smile on my face. I absolutely love this little car. Like I say, just with the red brake lights on the back, this is all blacked out. Those wheels just look perfect. Obviously painted in the headlights, and then the great big engine there. I'm in love with this thing. But anyway, I just want to thank my patrons. And thank you guys for watching. Drop a like on this video. I'd appreciate it. I'll see you on the next one.